Good afternoon, guys. Happy Sunday. I wanted to come on live today. I just finished going for a run. You know when you just need to work out, so you just go and do it? Came down to that for me this afternoon. So, of course, while I'm running or I'm driving or I'm in the shower, any of those areas, that's when I get all my thoughts. So I have these thoughts and I wanted to come on and talk to you guys and share just a personal story of mine, and maybe you can gain some inspiration from this. Persistence is our superpower, okay? Persistence is our superpower. What does that mean? If you guys are hopping on, say hello. I would love to see who's coming on this afternoon. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay below so that I can connect with you later and say hello. So persistence is our superpower, and I want to share how my personal story on how persistence has been turned out to be my superpower. We all have the power, right? We all have persistence. We don't all have persistence, but we all we have access to persistence, and persistence can be our biggest superpower. So I'm going to share just my story. So I am someone who just knows what she wants. A girl just knows what she wants, right? And from a very, very young age, I always knew that I wanted to have something of my own. I wanted to be in charge of my own circumstance. I wanted something that I could call my own. From a very young age, probably following in the footsteps of my great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my father, who run a family-owned business. So I grew up around someone who was in business, and I always knew from a young age that that's what I wanted, okay? So, but hang tight, okay? It's not like it's from an A to B. Hang tight and listen to my story. So I always knew that, right? But I went to school. I became a dental hygienist, and that was the path I kind of took. Even though deep down inside, I always knew at some point in my life, I wanted to be in business. I didn't know what type of business. I didn't know how. I didn't know. I just had the vision. I put the intention out there, and I lived my life, in between, right? So, I became a dental hygienist, and I've been in the industry I still am a dental hygienist. I now work for myself, but that vision did come to fruition. But be going on 15 years now. So I went about with my life, and at the age of 25, not long after I gave birth to my first, I decided to open my own dental hygiene clinic. So I went and I did all the research, and I got all the necessary qualifications that I needed in order to be an independent hygienist and run my own quote-unquote dental hygiene office. So I did that, and I put front a ton of money to get a space where I was going to have to rent and build the office, waiting room, the operatory, and a lab where I would do all the sterilization and stuff, right? So I took that vision and I brought it to life. So here I was at the age of 25, now a business owner of my own dental hygiene clinic. It was costly. So I put out, thousands upon thousands of dollars to start that brick and mortar business, right? And it just wasn't my time. I ended up doing all that prep work for a good 6 months or more to create that vision. And then shortly after I opened, I unexpectedly found out I was pregnant with Ella. Here in Canada, we have mat leave. So, money is taken off your paycheck so that when you're going off on leave, the government pays you while you're on mat leave. And of course, running a business with rent, overhead, all that kind of stuff, I had to decide whether I could afford to raise a baby off on mat leave and still be able to cover the hefty, $700 plus in rent, software that I needed, which was about $200, and all the extras, right? So here I was at a crossroad. I invested a big chunk of money into launching my own business, and I had to decide. So of course, I decided to close shop. 6 months after it opened, I completely closed the shop. I had logos designed. It was a full functioning business, okay? So that was down the chutes, okay? and it took a long time to recover financially from that. So there's that, you know? And here's where persistence comes into play. I could have taken that pivotal moment, that desire, that vision that I had, and I could have said, I'm just not cut out for this. And I could have just forgot about the inner goal, desire that I had to become an entrepreneur, to have something of my own, right? But I didn't. Not even 6 months after that. No, it wouldn't have been 6 months. It was probably about a year and a half after that. I decided to venture online and become, you know, a fitness, wellness, what would you call it? Fitness and wellness motivator, right? So I launched an online business where I would help people with their health and fitness goals. And I did that for 2 years, right? So I did that for 2 years. And of course, I am very conscious that business takes time to grow. I am very aware that this is not an overnight thing. If you get into business thinking that, you know, customers are going to be knocking down your door from the moment you open, you are sadly mistaken. You have to ride it out. So I did. I did this for 2 years, right? And while it was really fun and semi-profitable, not to the point where I had envisioned for myself, I decided that it just wasn't for me anymore. It wasn't filling my cup. So I left that, right? The good news is that I didn't have to upfront a ton of money for that because it was virtual. I was able to have my shop virtual online, which I didn't have to pay rent on. I didn't have to pay an overhead. I just showed up, okay? So here's where persistence comes in again. This is my second failed business attempt, and I don't like the word failure because I believe there is no such thing. There is only lessons, okay? So there is my second business adventure that did not work out. So I decided to branch off and kind of go independent and work for myself online, where I created programs. I created programs for women. That's the printer, Al, to help them get in shape. So I created programs. No, where I would walk them through boot camps, and I was completely independent in my own business. So this is my third try. I'm going at it again, right? So I continue to show up. Again, it's online, it's virtual. I didn't have to worry about any overhead or anything like that. This is where persistence comes into play, okay? So you would think that I would maybe have learned from the first time, the second time, the third time, that, you know, it just wasn't working out for me. What's your present for me? What's this? Thank you, Ella. Thank you so much. Ella brought me a present, and it's a little crystal. She knows how much I love crystals, and I know how much you love crystals. Thank you, Ella. So I did that for another couple of years, right? So I did that for another couple of years. It was great. It was fun. It was rewarding. I had my own product out there. Again, it wasn't generating a ROI like I had expected, and it definitely wasn't generating enough ROI for me to completely go at it full time. Although, anytime I had ever decided to do a business, it never came from a place of wanting to leave my dental hygiene career, because I absolutely loved my career. It came completely from a place of wanting something of my own, okay? So there's 3 attempts. For some reason, I have the number 5 in my mind. There must have been some other little business in there prior. I don't know. I've done so many. When I was on mat leave with Brooke, I created these, I got these like pieces of, I guess you'd call them 2x4s, and I would paint them and decorate them, and I made measuring charts for kids. So I would, do some jungle themed, there was like fairy themed, and I would paint these boards outside and mark them out, and I would sell them, right? That was like what I did. So there's another business venture I did. I also sold children's books. I did Osborne. I don't know if you've heard of them. They are amazing. But I did that for a little while as well. So it's actually like there's five business attempts that I've done, okay? So this is where persistent comes in. I am now on, I guess you would consider this my 5th or 6th business venture. And totally loving it, totally, everything's aligned. And I do this full time. I have generated a multi 6-figure business where I do it from home. It has been completely what I envisioned from a little girl of wanting to have something on my own, something I can call my own, something I can do that is my own, something where I am in control of my hours, my freedom, my pay, right? So this is where persistence comes in and where you can apply it to be your biggest superpower. Keep going, okay? That is the message. A river does not cut through rocks by just flowing, and then a river what's the quote go? A river cuts through rocks from persistent. The river keeps going, keeps flowing, keeps flowing, keeps flowing. A river cuts through rocks through persistence. And this is how persistence can be your biggest superpower. Maybe you've done a business before and you weren't wildly successful. Maybe you've done a business before and it didn't pan out like you wanted it to be. Maybe you've never done a business before because you're too afraid. Okay, I want you to take persistence and believe that it's your biggest superpower, because in my experience, it's been my biggest superpower. Out of all those businesses that I've done, I could have easily said, it didn't work for me. I'm not cut out for this. All 5 different times, right? But I had that vision and I had that desire and I knew where I wanted to go. So I stayed persistent. On top of persistence, you need that strong desire. If you just kind of want to, create this, whatever goal you have in your life, you just kind of want to do it. You're just going to kind of want to get, you're just going to have kind of want to results, right? You're just going to have wishy-washy results. But if you know without a shadow of a doubt what you're after and what your grand vision is for you and your family, you're going to get there no matter what if you stay persistent, right? You may have to pivot. You may have to try new things. You may have to go this way, up the valley or up the hill, down the valley, climb the mountain. That's just part of it. But you have to hold on. You have to keep going, and you have to focus on that grand vision. Okay, this is all stuff I've learned on my journey. Okay. Next thing is that I want to talk about is taking action and being open-minded. You have to be open-minded to things, right? And you have to be willing to take risks. You have to be a risk taker. If you're someone who wants to be in business or you want this big life-changing experience for you and your family, I'm not going to lie, you have to be a risk taker. You have to take risks. You can't play the easy road. Playing the easy road is not going to get you there. And I'm going to tell you as well, you have to invest. You can't expect to get where you want to go by not investing in yourself, not investing in a business opportunity, not investing in, people to help you get there, community, whatever it is, right? Anything any business owner achieves, they've had to invest. Just like when, my great grandpa opened a Shell gas station in the little town of Perth, where back in 1931, their house, family farm burned down and they had no choice but to come to the nearest town and start over. He would have had to invest in this property. He would have had to invest to build this gas station. He would have had to invest not just money but time to show up there every single day to build this little gas station, which has been in the family for over 3 generations now. 1931. So we're almost coming up on 100 years, right? So you can't expect to grow something or change the trajectory of your life without taking risks, investing some sort of financial investment, investing your time, being consistent, and having that grand vision. Those are 5 things that are a must, right? The thing with investing is there is so much out there for you right now. Whether my opportunity, I don't even know if you guys know what I do for a living. I'm a brand ambassador with an activewear brand. But whether it's my opportunity or whether it's another business opportunity, you're going to have to invest either way. Okay? If you want to invest $40,000 into a brick and mortar business like I did on my very first business venture, you can, right? Or if you're more into the online space where that's where the world's heading, and obviously why I've been drawn to it for the past 6 years, I always said after I closed the dental clinic, the next business I do, it will be online. It will be online because your overhead is just that much less, right? So you can start an online business for, what may seem like pennies compared to what, a brick and mortar business may start. So you have that perspective as well. What else did I want to get at? I think that was about it. But I basically just wanted to come on and share my story on how persistence is really key. And if you have that deep desire, don't give up on it. Remember that a river cuts through the rock bed by persistence. Just because you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 failed business attempts does not mean you're not destined for it. It just means it wasn't the right timing, it wasn't the right business for you, or you just weren't aligned. You needed to learn more lessons along your journey, and I believe in that. We are here to learn lessons. We are here to grow as spiritual beings. We are here to, go through hard things that will equip us to better manage what's ahead of us, which we don't know what's ahead of us, but each thing is lining up. If I had success at the age of 25, when there was still a ton of lessons that I needed to learn, I don't know if it would have been good, right? There was things I needed to learn from 12 years ago to now, right? So I want you to remember that. So that's just my little spiel today on my little story about persistence and how it can be your biggest superpower, and how you just don't give up on that vision. Don't give up on that vision, right? And find something that aligns with you. For me, it was activewear, right? Starting a business in makeup would not align with me. I don't wear makeup, right? So of course, I was active. I was in the fitness industry. All I wear is activewear for literally the past 15 years of my life. I'm sporty style. It's just the way I am. So of course, when I had a chance to start a business in the activewear industry, of course I jumped on it, right? I launched this business. At the time, I think it was $500 and some to enroll, to get my clothing. To start, I needed to get my clothing to be able to launch a business and wear and share it. And I've been able to roll that over into a 6-figure business, right? So find what you're passionate about. There's a million different businesses out there that you can do. Find what aligns with you. Dive in. Do the 5 things that I said. And be persistent. Happy Sunday, you guys.